is going on right now? What's up, fight fan? Back at it with another edition of Round One Sports TV. Let's get this episode started off right. Thank you. You're far too kind. You're far too kind. What's up, fight fan? Back at it with another edition. Yeah. Listen, I want to put up and I want to talk about further about this text that this Japanese superstar put out. That it seems like it got a lot of people in an uproar. I didn't think it was gonna be that serious, but come on, people. Um, was it really like all that? You know what? I'm gonna put it up on the screen, right? And you be the judge of it, right? You tell me what you think about this. All right. Here is his actual text. Can you guys see this on your screen? I'm not sure if you can see this, right? But this is what he actually texted. You see? Terence Crawford is number one pound for pound, and he even reach 8%. All right. That was that one, right? He has another one. See if I can pull this up right here. Okay. No. That's the same one. No, that's the same one. Where's the other one? Well, he puts up the text and he made the text about Stephen Kubo Fulton, and he said that, look, in this case right here, I want you to take um everything that happened, everything that happened leading into this fight, everything that took place with Stephen Kubo Fulton and Naoya Inoue, leading into that fight when Stephen Kubo Fulton got up on the podium at the press conferences, right, and he stated that the Japanese superstar, in fact, wraps his hands a certain way with the tape touching the flesh first. And they wanted it to be the gauze first, then the tape, like traditionally, like out where they do it from, right? Okay. So the Japanese accepts his terms and they do it the way they would have liked them to do it. So that's exactly the way the Japanese superstar did his hand wraps on that night. He beat him fair and square, right? Hey. So these were kind of accusations that they were making against the Japanese superstar, and he was offended, right? On top of that, leading into the fight, this was supposed to be his biggest challenge. The American, the black American fighter, the slick style. That was going to be his kryptonite. See, all the way up into that point, they said, the cat's going to be out of the bag. He was going to be exposed as the fighter that he is not. So you have to look at it as the Japanese superstar's point of view, right? He's saying, wow, you guys are really saying that my skills and my body of work are judged by this guy right here. And you're saying that I'm not the real deal because of him and that this one particular style. So I'm not a complete fighter, according to you guys. Pissed off? Would that make you? Knowing that you are one of the greatest fighters, and all you want to do is fight. You don't want to go back and forth and opinions and people throwing accusations around. All you want to do is fight. That's all this Japanese dude wants to do. He just wants to fight. But yet, they called him a fraud, a hoax. Look how top ranked Bob Arum and the corruption in boxing is showing its ugly face, and they're pushing this Japanese guy along, and they're promoting him as the next best thing. When in fact, his skills are nothing but a mirage. He's a phony, a hoax. And Stephen Kubo Fulton is going to expose this. Wouldn't you be pretty pissed off, right? Right. And then the humblest of sense, we have to remember this guy's a fighter. Confident, shit talking comes with fighters. So the guy just makes an observation. They ask him a question, and he gives his honest assessment. He says, Stephen Kubo Fulton didn't like getting punched in the face. How does he know that? He fought him. He was in the ring with him. This is his assessment to what Stephen Kubo Fulton's reaction and what he felt like was taking place in the fight. He didn't like it. He didn't like it. And if you're a type of fighter that doesn't like to get hit in the face like that, you might be reluctant to take more chances. He was making reads. Now, since this is the only black American fighter he has come up against, he's questioning, are you all like this? Or is it just him? I'm asking a question. Does he not have the right to ask a question? Then in the interview, you can tell where his mind is. Because in Japan, he also has a management team and a PR team. And they understand that we are in sensitive times. Watch what you say. And the Japanese superstar at the end said, well, maybe perhaps they're all not like this. If that's his version of shit talking compared to our version of shit talking, guys, that's his version of shit talking. That's what you're holding him to. That's what all the uproar on all these boxing channels, especially the brothers. Go check. Listen, they are butthurt over this. Like they've never heard a boxer say iller shit than this. What this Japanese dude said. Yo, they're holding him. See what I told you? They're gonna take anything and try to turn him into the bad guy. Why? Because of their homies and their loyalties to their favorite fighters and the guys that give them interviews. See? There are a lot of legends in this game that get a lot of respect. And out of respect, you show love back to your legends. I get it. I may have done the same thing in a sense, right? But we're here. And this is this instance. And in this instance right here, I'm telling you right now, all the Japanese do wants to do is fight. You guys want to hold them to a to a to a tweet that another guy posted about something he could have said. I'll take him on 100% face value that word for word what that guy posted. I'm gonna say he said it, and I'll hold him to that. There's just nothing to hold him to. He didn't say anything foul. He didn't say anything wrong. So I don't know, man. These guys are reaching, bro. If you ask me, they're reaching. And I think a lot of people's feelings got hurt. Yeah, I think a lot of people's feelings got hurt here over the Stephen Kubo Fulton loss, over his accomplishments, over what he did, over the fact that he tied Terence Crawford so fast. I mean, truly, guys, listen. I've talked about this in other videos. What's up, bud? They just love twisting words. That's all they do. Because technically, my man, listen, If they're trying to take that text and any other text that he used to give praises to Terence Crawford, yo, they reaching. Because I done heard American fighters say a lot crazier shit than what that Japanese dude said. Why they in such an uproar? I'll tell you why they're in an uproar. Because they were told by the powers that be, do anything you can to discredit him as a fighter. If you can't beat him in the ring, destroy his name, destroy his credibility. Have the fans booing him when he comes down. Let's support our American fighters. I get it. I'm supporting American fighters 100%. I am. And I'm telling American fighters to get on their game and take note of what's going on and what it's going to take to beat him. I'm on some competition shit. I'm not scared of competition. I love it. And I want the Americans to respond, but beat him in the ring like he's beating everyone else. Beat him on the up and up. Why do you got to try to bash his name? Why do you got to try to bash his credibility as a fighter? Why do you have to try to destroy his legacy and put a question mark in back of his accomplishments? That's what they're trying to do. Can't you see what's going on here? They want you, they want to find something with him so that they can say his world titles don't count for shit. As long as they can put the word cheater in the back of his name, and they'll always, nope, he cheated. Just because they didn't catch him didn't mean you didn't cheat. Some people had enough money to have the best shit put him in them and have it taken out. So look, I'm not here to make accusations or to justify the Japanese superstars thing by lowering the bar because there's nothing to compete here. The man's done nothing wrong. Mind you, these are all false rumors and accusation against a man that's just winning. And I keep that in mind. You see, I'm not gonna look, I told you guys, and I'm gonna tell you this is gonna happen. And a lot of people are gonna attach their names to a real one. You guys seen it. Ryan Garcia attached his name to him. And the way Ryan Garcia tried to sell it to the public, he went and said, well, yeah, I think he can catch me in catch weight, 140. A catch weight? What are you talking about? You fight in 140. That's not a catch weight. You see how he tried to be slick, right? Like he gave like the allure of an option of him fighting him in your own weight. Ryan, like, does he really think before he talks? I'm not sure. Maybe that gel, bro. I listen. And then knowing the fact that the Japanese superstar just entered the 122-pound weight division, he's literally 20 pounds, 18, away. Like Ryan knows he would never meet up with that guy. Most of us are saying 130 would have been we like a lot of us wouldn't have thought that he even would have got to 130. Some of us would have said, yeah, but at that point we were saying the guys up there would be way too big for him. But Ryan, just because it rolls off the tip of his tongue and it comes out freely, he has no problem selling you that. You got to watch what you hear and what you take in to be true. You see? This Japanese dude didn't do anything wrong. He didn't say anything wrong. And he's one of the most competitive and well trained, fundamentally sound, well schooled, well disciplined in and out of the ring as an athlete. That if I had a kid coming up, that's the kind of fighter I would like him to role model his career after. Yes. And because of that, because he represents purity of the sport, the goodness, the respect, not disrespecting your father, not disrespecting your country, knowing how to act when you go into another person's country. respecting their religions. You see? But they make no mistake, they ain't no angels, you know? But that's another story. But this is how he is on a competitive level. And because he represents all of these traits and all of these things, these guys with the bling bling, they don't like that shit because they can't control those young men with big booty women and cars. And here, sign here, sign here. I got you. Yeah, I got your back. And then you find out that that guy done sold his life away to a 7-fight deal, and he ain't seen but only $1 million out of that. But yeah, that those are his brothers. This Japanese dude represents a lot for boxing, and because a lot what he represents is good and the purest of the boxing form, they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to follow a guy like that. They want you spending your money in Vegas on gold chains and cars to buy up all they shit. They don't want you saving it and retiring with money and cents. They don't like that. They don't like when you leave the sport and you're on top and you got out and you beat them. No, he represents too much goodness in the sport. Destroy him. That's what I feel like. Because the world can see with your own two eyes. He ain't he he's special, man. He really is, bro. And if I was like uh let's say I was like the head of all of the boxing world and I was advertising fighters on the front line, that when you tuned into my channel, the first thing you would see would be great fighters like Terence Crawford, a Japanese superstar, Devin Haney, Jerron Boots Ennis, that represent boxing at its finest. You don't want, I'm not going to put up no tomato can up there to represent boxing. So why are they tearing him down? Why are they tearing down the best like this? You know why? One, competition. Okay. And I always express this, right? There's other ways of doing things, right? This man hasn't said a word, not one word, but you know what he means business. He hasn't said one American word, but you know what he's talking about, don't you? Yeah. He hasn't said one word, but his actions speak louder than words. So don't tell me that he has to be a certain way. No, this man is truly doing things that I like, and would like young men to watch him, to study him. They don't want that. They don't want that. They want you to mirror these guys with all the facade and everything. This is what you need to be. Come signed over here. It's a dirty business. And it's sometime when it's a shame when you can be the best in something. The people that are pushing the narrative, the people that are higher up, that's not what they want now. You know what I mean? And they're getting all over this dude. And it's crazy because it's just you know, I feel like the pie is big enough for us all. I feel like competition is competition. I love it, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna say that, am I the only person that feels like that? Because I've met a lot of competitive men in my life, even more competitive than me, in fact, 10 times more competitive than me. So I believe that's a statement that I can boldly say and say that we all should respect competition. And I believe that we should beat competition and meet it head on. I don't think that we should be fighting this this war that is going on of all these accusations and trying to destroy a person's legacy. Now that's something, that you worked your whole life to establish. And for Floyd Mayweather to come on and say that this guy is doing steroids, that is a huge accusation from a legend. One word out of this man's mouth can ruin this guy's um, um the way people view him, at least, and it can deter fans from him. He knows that. You're fucking with my legacy right here, bro. That's not funny, man. Like I truly worked my whole life for this. You know, and Floyd knows exactly what that is like. So why would he do that? Because he's trying to destroy it. That's why. Nah, not here at Round One Sports Talk. Not here, bro. Not here. I love boxing and I love boxing at its purest form. And I'm not gonna let these men destroy boxing. And I'm not gonna let them tell you guys that this Japanese superstar is doing anything wrong. And I'm not gonna sit here and say or go back and forth with you with every word that he said when what he said it was enough. What was wrong with what he said? I don't think he said fuck Devin Haney, fuck US fighters, fuck this guy. You guys ain't shit. You guys are low skill motherfuckers. You don't like getting punched in the face. Come with it. I mean, if he would have just had come out and said that, would you guys had are you guys would you be okay with it? Because you took what he said and turned it into that. And if he had said that, I would say then let's go. The fuck you guys talking about? American fighters do much more and worse. You see? So, what's up, guys? Bug King, you know it, baby. You know what I mean? You know? Thank you. Look, man, these guys, you know how they gonna do? Danny, what's up, bro? How you doing out there? You know how they gonna do, man. I got up today and I thought it would be like over with, right? I was like, come on, man, how much could this text? Yo, every fucking channel, bro. They were like, ah! Yo, they took it and just, yo, by time I heard the last one, if you let the last channel tell it, Japan just invaded America. They're in planes. Yo, yo, they're crazy, bro. They really, really, and that goes to show you. Pay attention to what's going on, guys. Right? Okay. Before the Stephen Kubo Fulton fight, let's just remember this Japanese dude, with according to and all those top, and I'm just gonna say it, a lot of the African YouTube channels, the brothers, right? Y'all know it, right? And they were saying that he was a hype job. Just keep this in mind, right? Okay. So I was like, back then when I started the show, right? I was like, damn, man, that's kind of fucked up. He don't really look like a hype job, but I respected what these guys said because I'm gonna keep it funky. I'm a fan to a lot of these channels, and I like hearing them talk too as well because I learned from them too, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say that I wasn't because I was, right? Because I'm always honest, man. I'm not biased, not even to myself, right? So I'm listening to him, and they saying that he was biased. I mean, they were that the Japanese superstar was a hype job, and that the corruption, and that they were moving him along in his career, and that he hadn't really fought anybody yet. That he didn't fight anybody yet. So Stephen Kubo Fulton was going to be that guy that slayed the monster, according to all of them, right? When he did that performance to Stephen Kubo Fulton, right? And then he doubled down on it by ending the year by doing that performance to Marlon Tapales. You saw all of those channels come out and say, "Yo, this Japanese dude is good. He's good. He's real good." I always said it. No, no, no. I was saying that Kubo Fulton, had a chance because he's American, but the Japanese dude is good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. Right. And I told you guys those dudes were all being fake. They were all being fake. Every one of them. They made their little videos to get likes because they started noticing that the people, even though what they were telling them and pushing all the people were seeing a different thing. They were like, wow, Dante Nation, Blue All Champ, all of them dudes told me that this dude was supposed to be trash. And they're watching the fight and they're going, he don't look like he trash. He beating the brakes off of Stephen Kubo Fulton. So much, in fact, Stephen Kubo Fulton didn't win a single round. And he had 2 belts, undisputed, right? I'm unified. I'm sorry, not undisputed, unified, right? And he was undefeated. And he was getting wiped down like that. But the brothers was telling you this dude was trash. He was supposed to be trash. So, according to the information they got, they went and placed their bets on Stephen Kubo Fulton because of what they were told. When they woke up the next day and they saw they didn't cash in on their tickets because they got wiped down, they went back to their YouTube channel and was like, hold up. All you said this Japanese dude was trash, right? Then they went on and said, nah, man, this dude is mad good, right? He made them give him his props, but they didn't like it. They didn't like, see, they couldn't look stupid no more. They didn't want to look like um Max Callahan on Tom Brady. He kept doubling down on the bullshit. And everybody kept telling Max Callahan, yo, back off of Brady, bro, year in, year out. You're going to look bad. He's going to make you look bad. So, what a lot of these YouTube dudes did was they started giving him fake praises. And the minute that he texts something out, all those YouTube channels that gave him fake praises, they showed their colors, right? Because they never had support for him. Because they always wanted to trash him because he represents fucking boxing. That's what happened. Hey, yo, stop watching them have been channels, bro. Here around sport, man, listen, I see them. They Windex. I see straight through them channels, bro. They never had love for this dude, bro. They never had love for him. Nah, nah.
Bruh.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Yo, yo. You see, Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford just broke their renegotiation, their rematch, which it was rumored to say it wasn't official. I'm not in the room with them, that it was going to be scheduled at 154. That's what we were being told. That's what I believe if it was going to happen again, that's what I believe it was going to be in, right? And they went around in a whole circle and did all of this. And the Japanese superstar is already headed into his 3rd fight. They only fought once. He's already got his 3rd fight deal signed, the date, the arena. We already know. But yet, some of these fighters want the credit of the fighter they once were. Yo, my man, yeah, you were great 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Yeah. And I understand 6 years ago they should have been giving that credit. And now you even made yourself this kind of champion. You feel like everything should have went full circle. But there's one fighter that's making so much noise that it's interrupting your parade. And I get it. And I get it. Right? I'm not gonna sit here and say that everything that Terence Crawford has or should be given, he didn't earn it. Damn right he earned it. He earned every bit of that. He is in a sucky situation. Being that there's a kind of man that is doing and stepping right behind you. You know what I'm saying? So, um, as far as like being the first man in history to unify all four belts in two separate weight divisions. And 6 months later, somebody catches you when that was a record and an accomplishment in the sport of boxing that has never been done before. Man, you didn't even get to enjoy one full year with that record by yourself. That must have fucking sucked. Bro, no sooner that I pulled off the greatest achievement in all of boxing. Muhammad Ali never did it. Floyd never did it. None of the legends ever did this shit. I just fucking did it. Bro, I just started celebrating. I'm like, yeah, I just fucking, I'm the best. Yo, what, man? I'm fucking partying. What do you mean somebody did it? The 5'5" Japanese guy. What the hell you think? He got all four belts in two separate weight divisions too. The party, where you guys going? Like, yo, that had to be crazy, right? Because he didn't even get enough time to enjoy that. And he's sitting there going, yo, everybody, don't forget about me. I did all this shit first. And then all of a sudden, the year's coming to an end, and they're talking about fighter of the year, someone else. And they're talking about pound for pound might be someone else. And then you got to remember what the fuck happened to Terence Crawford the last time they stole the award from him. When they gave it to Vasily Lomachenko, and that was the first time he unified all four belts that year, in that calendar year. They gave Fighter of the Year to Loma over Terence. So he was fucking tight by this time. So, like, as all this shit is playing out, I can understand Terence Crawford. I can understand his frustration with his body of work. Like, in order for that kind of man to get on social media, yo, that had to be fucking with him. Like, are you serious, America? Did I not just put in all this work and do all this shit? And then this dude just comes and takes it all like almost. It was the way the Japanese superstar did it that's succeeded Terence Crawford, because it took Terence Crawford and a good amount of time, 6.5 years, to do that between the time he won him at 140 to 147. There was almost a 7 year gap there. When this Japanese superstar did that same feat, from the time he ended the last fight with Paul Butler, from that time, he fought and won. You got to count it from, it was 6 months. I mean, I'm counting it from Stephen Kubo Fulton to Marlon Tapales. He had all four belts. The time frame was just remarkable. And that had to fuck Terence Crawford up. You know, there was one thing you couldn't take away from Terence Crawford. You'll never be able to take this away, that he did it first. Okay? And then the argument is like, you did it first, so what? But you're not unique, because someone else is in the room. And what you did, if you want to talk about it, you did it better, technically, right? And that would piss me off. That would piss me bro, come on, man. What else does he have to do, Terence Crawford? He fought with his promotional company. Bob Arum accused him of racism. He went through all this shit. He finally got away from them, became his own boss, achieved a success in a level in boxing that no fighter has ever been. And then they all of a sudden saying, hey, that guy's doing it over there.
Emotional, damn it.
Yo, bro, because I'm trying to tell you, I would be livid, bro. You know, but look at the class act that is the Japanese superstar. They said to him, "You got the Fight of the Year award." They're saying that Terence Crawford is the best pound for pound fighter in the world in the interview. And what the guy interviewing Naoya Inoue is saying, he wants a response out of him. What he wants is for the Japanese guy to say, nah, fuck that. He's not the best. I'm the best. And because I'm a Japanese dude, you guys are not saying I'm the best. That's what kind of response the reporter wanted out of the Japanese dude. Instead, what he got was him giving praises to Terence Crawford. The reporter didn't would think he was gonna say, "Oh, Terrence Crawford, yeah, you the best." No. When he asked that question, he asked that question hoping to get a response of shit talking, trash talking, and he would have something to say that this guy said about Terrence Crawford, our American fighter. That's what the reporter wanted. Instead, he got um he got respect. He got um 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 homage. He didn't expect none of these things. And instead, the Japanese dude said, no, Terence Crawford is a very good fighter, and I like him. I think he's an exceptional fighter, in fact, and he is pound for pound number one. One day, I will be just as good a fighter as him. Not only did he acknowledge that he's a great fighter, publicly admitted that he's better than him, knowing, and I know, I think he's better. What kind of man is that? And he's willing to take the back seat because he knows who he is. If you want to have an opinion, what he's saying is, go ahead and I respect your opinion. That's no shit talking. One day I hope to win you over as a fan. He humbly, he is the best. And as a matter of fact, I am a fan of him because he is a great fighter. Those are the fighters I look up to. One day, I hope I can be like him. But this is the bad guy. This is the asshole. This is the guy they want to bash. It's an ugly game, and I know why. I know why. I know exactly why. Because if you can't beat him in the ring, destroy his legacy. It's fucked up, bro. Don't fuck with what I work. It took my whole life to work with. Now you fucking with something that means so much to me. You're just not, talking about my mom or talking about my kids or talking about, those kind of things are bad things and that's not on the level with fucking with my life's work. No, you're fucking with everything that man lives, eats, breathes for. What he wants to be remembered for as a legend. You're coming after that. Bro, I want to snap this screen when I think of shit like that. Don't fuck with my life, man. Listen, Floyd should know that. He was one of those guys at the tail end of his career, wasn't he? Dragging out Manny Pacquiao into steroid testing publicly, taking blood out of them, talking about he wants to clean up the sport. You know what I mean? Just because you did that in the last three of your fights doesn't mean you were doing that your whole career, Floyd. You know? You just did that because you knew that. Whatever reason, I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, man. Rumors have it the three fights are lined up and it might be all in this year. Yeah, I believe that the Japanese superstar, and I talked about that, I believe he can get all three of those fights in this calendar year. He's that active as a champion, as a man. You guys got to remember the only reason why we saw a decline in the Japanese superstars' fights was only one time in time when we went through the Corona epidemic. Yeah, that's the only hiccup he had. That's it. Where he couldn't get fights and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. Although he might, if he's successful, and he beats Luis Nares, guys, where's these opponents going to come out of? Where? I'm hoping that somebody with a decent sized name so he can have a good dancing partner. But if that dancing partner does not possess a world title, then the likelihood of them two fighting will not. Because they have to have a world title for one. They have to. That's a mandatory. And the way the Japanese is trajectory is going. You have to understand he's also maintaining a record in boxing right now for the most world title fights consecutively. He just came into his 22nd consecutive world title fight, meaning either he was fighting you for his belt, he was defending his belt, he was winning all the belts, but the fight had to do with a belt in one way or another. That's a title fight. Okay? He has 22 of those consecutively. Fucking ridiculous. I don't know any fighters that's ever done that, right? But that being said, he's not going to break his record. And in order for him to move up to 126, where he does not have any belts, he couldn't make a title defense because his belts are not going to drag over with him. So that means he would 100% have to fight for someone for their belt at 126. You see? So unless his dancing partner, whoever is there when he gets there, that would be interesting. But I don't see like that, you know, that dancing partner that's also selling out arenas, that's also, that can give us that. Not unless Tank Davis, man, just wakes up tomorrow and snaps out of it. Like that's one of my biggest fucking hopes in this fucking planet. That this fucking Tank Davis guy um proves me right. So that I can finally say to my fucking families and friends, yo, I fucking told you so. You nuts. I just want him to go down to 130. I believe that's where he belongs. 130 pounds is where Tank Davis belongs. A discipline, well trained. Tank Davis, whoa, man, he would clean that division, bro. He would rock everyone there. He would be such a great champion, man. But the bling bling, bro, that's another sad case of what we pass down to our America. He's a prime example of what I talk about. He is a prime example. Yep. See, Devin Haney became the gold chains and everything at the back end. He became that going into the George Camboza fight. That's when he became that, and them dirty motherfuckers, right? And I'm gonna say this, man, because it was what it was, right? They were advertising young Devin Haney as an American like street thug. That was the image. They had them all with the gold chains and the spray paint jackets and everything. I know that his gear was fly as shit, right? But when he put that on, it wasn't the moment to wear that kind of outfit at the time, right? And they used that. They had George Camboza with his flag, like all patriotic. You know what I'm saying? With like his flag and shit. And they viewed young Devin Haney as a thug in the promotional leading up into the fight. When I saw them like promotional banners, I was like, man, that's kind of fucked up, right? They got this dude with his like draped in his like his flag, and Devin's like this with all the ice on, like draped out. Like I was like, see how they promote our fighters? See how it rubs off onto them, and see the effects that kind of lifestyle takes away from the sport, from our fighter. That's the shit I'm talking about right there. Prime example. You know, I just hope our fighters, you know, some of them just start to really understand that when you're in your moment, be in your moment, because when it's gone, it's all gone. You'll never get it back, you know. Uh, and there'll be time to play. There'll be plenty of time to play with your toys and spend your money. While you're in it, it's time to work. And some of these young men and women, they need to learn some of these traits. You know, thank you, 100, baby, absolutely, yo, because they're really stretching with this Japanese dude, and it upsets me when I know for a fact that I would have no problem showing a young kid this individual as an athlete in boxing, and what they're trying to do is destroy his credibility, and that's a damn shame because I talked about it, how what he represents, and for me, he represents a lot of good in the sport of boxing and what young men and women should mirror themselves at least in as of commitment. I'm not saying everybody should walk, talk, dress like him. No, be yourself. But uh, what he brings to the table, his discipline, his hard work, his dedication, his focus, his level to the game, on and off, in and out of the ring, conducting himself as an athlete, understanding that there's little kids looking up at you. And whether you chose this for your life or not, to embrace the moment. You're here. This is what comes with it, and understanding it. There's athletes all around the world all the time that don't want to take that role on as a role model or whatever, but that's not your choice anymore. Once you become in the spotlight and you already have eyes on you, unfortunately, you have a responsibility, whether you like it or not. And some men and women need to understand that. It doesn't matter. I don't got time to be a role model. Well, have some sense when the camera's on you. And while you're in your career, have some sense, you know, because it's not all about you. And your fans are the ones that pay for your salary. Remember that. Without the fans buying your fights or showing up to your fights, you ain't making no money. So these boxers got to understand some of these things, and what they do outside of the ring reflects how many young men woke up and saw King Davis's Lamborghini crash on all over social media, and that there happened to be a pregnant girl in the car. And that the storyline was that she looked back into Tank's eyes and said, "Help me," and he left me. You guys remember that shit? Yeah. But no sooner did they put him on house arrest, back to the partying, back to the drama, and this is what they want us to. This is our American fighter, man. Bro, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit, man. That's why I hope this Cleveland kid, man, Madison, man. I hope they really take care of the young man and he pays attention to what's in front of him, but only time will tell. But listen, fight fans, I love you guys. Yo, all right, where you been, my man? You know what I mean? What's up, baby? Oh, you gave me a pump at the top, and then you been silent, bro. Wait, what's up? Yeah, yeah, ain't that right? All right, that's the truth. That's the truth. And in this sport, unfortunately, boxing is truly a single man sport. It truly is. My mindset before I used to go into the gym, I started to develop this kind of mindset where that the minute I opened the door, right when the threshold, when I walked in, like all bets were off. Like, the joking left. If you were the kind of guy that was always like laughing and joking and going like this, I wasn't working out with you. You know, I worked out sometimes and I kind of got in trouble for it a lot, but I would try to work out with my enemy. If for as crazy as it sound, I did it a couple times. Like I went over like over there and shit. It was like Whatever he was saying, would say the opposite, and then I would get him in the ring type shit. And I knew that when he wanted to kick my ass, it was for real. It wasn't my friend letting up on me. It wasn't none of that. So he like I don't know if he even knew he was my enemy, but I never liked it, his punk ass, right? But it was never really determined that we were enemies. I just we didn't get along at all, right? So, but that's the guy I would spar because I started knowing my dad was right. Like if I sparred against a guy that was just always being easy with me, I wasn't getting anywhere. And then I started sparring with the guy that wanted to beat the crap out of me. And I knew that I was getting better. You see? And because he would bring it out of me and we would fight actually. Sometimes we would fight outside of the place, but I still was learning. you know? Um, and that's how it was. And the boxing is truly a lonely man sport where that you can't have a lot of friends. I didn't have a lot of friends or associates inside of the gym. I mean, I did. There were the guys that I walked home with that we were always talking with our bags and we would like be talking and shit. They were in different weight divisions than I was. I never had a friend that was in my weight division. That was like when my grandmother would tell me on the farm not to play with the food. Don't name the chickens. And when I was a kid, I named the chicken. I came home from school. We ate that night. We had chicken, and I asked her, "Where's my chicken?" She was like, "No. The question is, how did he taste?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "There's little pollito right there. Yeah, your little pollito that we ate him." Man, I cried all night. I was devastated, but I learned a hard lesson in life. When they tell you something is for a reason. I should have never named that little chicken on the farm when I was a kid. Had I not get attached to it when it was time to eat it, it wouldn't have bothered me. And that was a harsh reality of life. I had to learn a life lesson. There's some things in life, you got to turn your heart to that shit, off to some shit in order to get by. You can't accept everything in life, every argument you hear, every sad story you hear. I turn my heart off to some of those things. Not that I'm a bad person, but it allows me to focus on me and what I need to get done sometimes in my life. I can see moments and some tragedies, but I don't take their pain in. I don't I don't take their story. I turn my heart to that shit so that I can continue to be me. I learned that a lot of times I took in a lot of bullshit and I didn't know as a young man that I was channeled with a lot of different things and I fought for the wrong reasons. A lot of misguided anger type shit until I kind of figured it out. Like I was like, oh shit, I was mad because of this. Like, oh shit, I did this because of this. And I started like to like figure that shit out. And I was like, okay, this makes a little bit better sense for me. You know what I mean? Um, but boxing is truly a lonely man's sport. And you can't, you know, for me, I don't know how these guys do it with all these distractions around them, with all these entourages. I know that they're at a level, you start to travel, you want to bring your friends and family with you, and most of those entourages are just that, friends and families, and a lot of that is image, and some of them are even bought and rented entourages in fact, okay? But you really like when you're in the sport, unless you're talking to me about boxing, talking to me about strategy, training, or you're giving me something of equipment or something, unless you're not, if you're talking about anything else or doing anything else, then I don't really want to hang out with you. You tell your story going that way. Go hang out with him. And if you was a girl that you was for the streets, then go that way to the streets. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? So it was like that's how you're gonna have to be. To be a fighter, you have to understand that discipline, that mindset, what it takes. to eliminate as much as distraction out of your life so that you can be the best fighter for yourself. And that's how I view it. That's how I view it. There's no shortcuts. I can't hang out with this guy and my body's gonna give me 2 more miles running in. I gotta go get those 2 miles. I can't be over here chilling on a photo shoot and say I'm gonna get training in at 12 midnight and cut my training down by a half hour and wonder why my production is going down. You can't take time off because your eye-to-eye coordination and your ring generalship and the speed of the fight won't be the same. And it won't even be the same in sparring. You could spar somebody tomorrow. That's not going to be fight night fight. You can't emulate that. And we've talked about this, you see? So that's why it's important to maintain a level of professionalism in boxing. That's why you're a professional and 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 the Japanese superstar and what he represents is that professional status as a boxer to which I believe on its ultimate platform. And you always have to remember that there are people that don't like good shit. Not everybody likes the fact that he represents this. There's always bad in this world, ain't they? But it might not look like it. It might not be revered as it, but competition is competition. And sometimes they have their favorites and they have their storylines. And the best thing you can do to push someone's narrative is to require the assistance of people pure of heart. What do I mean by that? Meaning you didn't have to tell these people to push these storylines. They're doing it voluntarily by what they were told. Their passion, what they speak, and how they're bringing it to you is pure. You can see it in their eye, but it's not doesn't mean that they weren't misled. They're fighting a misled battle, misguided. That's what they're doing. I'm not saying that they're like actually being told by these guys and saying, "No, you need to say this." No, they're getting their source from where they're getting their source and where they're getting their source. You don't have to change these reporters and these YouTube channels. Just let them be themselves with the narrative that you're feeding them. And they believe they're getting it from the right source. So the way they're viewing it, they have to destroy it. But it's not like they're sitting down saying to all these guys, hey, we have to devise a plan. No, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is drop the source from the right place and it'll do itself. It'll spread like wildfire. That's it. With no money down. You didn't have to pay none of them. They didn't have to promote any of them. Nothing. So look, bing, and that fucking news spreads like fire by passionate people and people that believe that that's what they should go with that. So fight fans, listen, I love this chopping it up with you guys. Like always, thank you for tuning in. Round One Sports TV. You know what I'm saying? I always enjoy being host. You know what I'm saying, Edwin? And I hope you guys had a great time here at Round One Sports Talk. Let me give you guys a little bell before I leave. You know what I mean? Because where's the beginning? Round one. You know what I mean? Y'all like that? You like that? You know what I mean? Hold on. I'm little, you know what I mean? I'm going to try some new stuff today. So, signing out here at Round One Sports TV. We got intro music and everything. We getting things popping here at Round One. Yeah. I'm on to the next one right after this episode here at Round One Sports Talk. Yo, listen, I'll be losing my mind. You see what happens? This is pure joy right here, though. Yes, it is. This. Let me in. Let me have my moment. Can I have my moment? that satisfaction a lot of days in front of a fucking computer, man. I'm becoming pretty computer savvy. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing pretty good. I love you guys, man. On